If you are in your late 20s or early 30s, pause for a second. You did everything right, didn't you? You sacrificed your childhood for grades. You fought for a college seat, you cracked the interview, and you got the job. But be honest with yourself. When you wake up on a Monday morning, do you feel successful or do you feel heavy? Because this is not the life you imagined when you were studying at night. And this isn't what settled was supposed to feel like. You spend 2 hours in a day stuck in traffic, breathing polluted air and questioning your choices. You sit in a cubicle for 10 hours pretending to care and smiling at your manager, and every day you come home tired, not fulfilled. And slowly, without realizing it, you start losing things that don't come back: your health, your time with family, your curiosity, and your youth. And what do you get in return? A salary that hits your account on the first and disappears by fifth into rents, EMIs, and bills. Now, you might wonder why you feel this way. The reason is somewhere along the way, we were sold a promise, a very specific Indian promise. The promise is just finish 10th, you are sorted. Just finish 12th, you are sorted. Get a degree, get a job, and your life is settled. But what nobody says at family gatherings, schools, colleges, or even universities is that that promise did not fail, it collapsed. Look around you, your seniors will look successful: cars, vacations, apartments, whatever. But look closer, they are one recession, one layoff, and one medical bill away from panic. And you are not even allowed to say this loud because the moment you complain, you are told to adjust. And in this country, adjustment is a polite word for slowly killing your dreams. You are not rich, you are premium poor. And no, I'm not here to hype you. I'm not here to tell you to work harder. I'm here to explain why you feel stuck and show you practically how to get out without blowing your life. Before we go any further, let me be clear. This video is not a short reel. It's not motivation. If you're looking for shortcuts, you can click off now. Now, you may be wondering, who am I to talk about this? I'm not a guru. I'm someone like you who followed the rules, did everything right, and somewhere along the way felt something was wrong. So, this video isn't advice from above, it's a conversation about the same problem. And here is how this video works. First, we diagnose why you feel stuck. Then, we redefine what success actually means today. And finally, I will show you a realistic way out without quitting your job. This video will need your attention. So, if you can, put your phone on D&D because we are about to debug the last 20 years of your life. So let's start. If you feel stuck right now, it did not happen overnight. This tragedy started 20 years ago. Think about your school, college, or even universities. From age 5 to 22, you were trained for only one thing: compliance. Memorize this, write the exam. Don't argue with teachers, just get the certificates. Our school did not teach us even one thing about finance or real world experience. We were raised in a factory designed to produce obedient middle managers, not leaders. You were told a simple lie: if you are a good boy, if you are sincere, if you work hard, the system will reward you. But then you stepped into corporate India and the rules changed. Nobody told you that real world doesn't care about your sincerity, it doesn't care about your hard work, and it definitely doesn't care whether you are a nice person or not. The market only cares about one brutal question: how easy is it to replace you? This might be a hard pill to swallow, but we are a country of 1.4 billion people, so replacement is cheap. So, for example, if you follow instructions, there might be 10,000 other people who follow the same instructions for 30% less salary. This is where you are losing. You are playing a game of loyalty in an economy that rewards leverage. Loyalty is staying late to impress your boss who will fire you to save his salary. Leverage is having skills so rare that even your boss will respect you. But you were never taught leverage. You were taught stability. You were taught safety. You were taught just adjust a little.
I think in the school system, they don't want us to learn about money because they just want to pump out good employees that do what they're told. I mean, if you look at school, it's opposite of what it takes to be successful in real life. Don't make a mistake. Do as you're told. Take tests by yourself. Don't cooperate. Do it by yourself. Do it on your own. And the last thing was, there's only one right answer.
So, when the job starts draining you, when your appraisal is a joke, when you realize you can't afford the life you were promised, you don't ask, how do I change the game? You ask, how can I adjust? You cut your expenses, you kill your hobbies, and you convince yourself wanting more is greedy. But that is dangerous because adjustment feels responsible. It feels like it is a mature thing to do. But in reality, adjustment is the slow death to your ambition. If you are sitting there nodding, feeling that tightness in your chest, listen to me closely. You are not weak, you are not ungrateful, and definitely you are not asking for too much. Now, stop blaming yourself. The problem isn't that you are stuck. The problem is nobody taught you how to design a life. They only taught you how to serve in one. To fix this, we need a new definition for success. So, if the old path is broken, we need a new definition for success. What is a good life? In India, we are taught a good life means safety, a steady routine, a steady salary, a steady sense of nothing going wrong. But that's not life. That's survival with better air conditioning. It is a definition that might make you uncomfortable. Life is a ability to wake up on a random Tuesday and ask yourself, what do I want to do today? Instead of asking yourself, what do I need to do to satisfy my boss? Right now, look at your reality. You are renting your existence 10 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week for decades. You are trading the strongest years of your energy to pay EMIs for a life you barely experience. You are a reliable tenant, and tenants can be evicted anytime. And this brings us to happiness. Everyone tells us, be happy, find your purpose. But no one will ask the obvious question: how do you find purpose when you are constantly worried about money? Let's be practical. You cannot be truly happy if you are not free. And in today's economy, you cannot be free if your survival depends on one boss, one company, or industry. As long as your entire life depends on one email from HR, you are not free. You are just managed. So the goal is not job satisfaction. That's a myth. The real goal is financial independence. Not to buy luxury, not to show off, but to buy choice back. This is where our relationship with money needs to change. We were taught to earn money to spend it to look successful. That's a trap. We need to earn money to buy back time. Every rupee saved, every independent income stream built is a small piece of freedom purchased. Success is not the CTC on your offer letter. Success is reaching a point where you don't have to work but you choose to. That's what life is. And remember this, we only live once. There is no second attempt to fix it later. So the goal isn't to survive carefully. The goal is to live how you want while you still can. Now I know what your mind is saying. Sounds good, but I have bills. I have parents to support. I have EMIs. I can't just walk away. You are right. Most people aren't stuck because they are lazy. They are stuck because they are exhausted. You are carrying financial pressure, family expectations, and fear of bad market. You are not unmotivated. You are tired. So, let me be very clear. This video is not telling you to quit your job. It's not telling you to blindly follow your passion and suffer. That's not courage. That's stupidity. We are talking about something quieter, smarter, and far more dangerous to the system: building your exit while you are still inside the building. So, how does this actually start? Not with a dramatic resignation letter. Changes start with simple, boring, invisible steps. Yes, you might be tired, you might be busy, but you still have the same 24 hours as your boss. So, even if you can steal just 10 minutes a day to understand money better, to build a second skill, to create independent leverage, that's more than enough. 10 minutes won't change your life this month, but 10 minutes every day changes who you are, from someone waiting for a salary to someone building options. And that brings us to the real question: how do you do this properly? To do that, let's look at the framework. Before we go any further, let me be brutally clear with you. This is not a scheme, this is not a hack, and this is definitely not a shortcut for buying Fortuna next year. If you are looking for magic, stop watching. But if you want to regain control of your life, slowly, realistically, without destroying your stability, stay. What I am about to share might be boring, uncomfortable, but it is highly effective, and most people fail at step 3. Step 1 is simple but painful. Decide whose life you are actually living. Most people aren't chasing their dreams, they are chasing their parents' fears, they are chasing society's approvals, they are building a performative life. It's like acting for someone's approval in your own life. So ask yourself this honestly: if you couldn't post it on Instagram and no one knows what you're doing, not even your relatives, what would you actually want in life? Do you want a bigger title or do you want peace? Do you want to live in a tier 1 city or have a simple life with more control? You don't need a perfect answer, you need an honest answer. Because if you climb the wrong mountain, you will only realize it at the top when it's empty. Step 2. Now we need to talk about money. Honestly, in our society, we are told money doesn't buy happiness. That's half truth. Money may not buy happiness, but it buys dignity. It buys right to say no to a toxic boss. It buys better healthcare for your parents. it buys choice. So let's stop pretending. Here is the real problem. If your entire life depends on one salary from one company, you are not safe. You are one email away from zero. You cannot build financial independence from single pillar. You need second, third, and fourth pillar. If you want any help in building those, you can check out my previous video where I talk about 5 different income streams. Coming back to our topic, this is where people mess up. When they're trying to build second income stream, they either do something market doesn't pay or something boring. In both scenarios, you quit early. You need to hit the sweet spot, something that market pays and something that will connect with you to stay for long term.
In order to be successful, you have to find out what makes you excited, what makes you want to get up each morning and go to work.
For example, think about the topics you discuss with your friends or family. Think about the solutions you create. Think about the topic you can read or write or think for hours without getting bored. Maybe you love simplifying complex topics. That's content. Maybe you understand people better. That's sales. Maybe you are obsessive about details. That's operations. Take some time to figure it out because once you find something that pays you and pulls you, you stop being dependent. You become dangerous in a good way. This is where most people fail, not because they are lazy, but because of society. The moment you announce a new plan, people will mock you, question you, or even give advice based on their fears. So, rule number one, build in silence. No updates, no announcements, and accept the timeline because it's gonna take some time to build it. Step 4, the most important one, building your financial shield. This step is non negotiable. You cannot take control of your life if a bank controls your fear. A person with massive EMIs cannot take risk, they can only adjust. So, before you try to be heroic, buy your freedom. So, build an emergency fund, keep expenses low, and stop trying to impress neighbors who don't care. If this framework made any sense to you, don't just nod and move on. Go to the comments and answer one question honestly. What is the one thing you feel connected to, but you have never taken seriously? Not the thing that sounds impressive, not the thing that makes more money, but the thing that can actually pull you. Write it down. Sometimes clarity comes with admitting it loud. If you are honest with yourself, you already know what happens if nothing changes. Fast forward 5 years. Same morning, same manager, same problems, and same life. So, here is the only thing I am asking you to do. Tonight, take a piece of paper and write this down. What do you actually want your life to look like 3 years from now? Not fantasies, just reality. If you can write it down, try to dedicate 10 minutes every single day. I am not here to promise millions. I am here to tell you this. You are not broken, you are not late. This is not what life is.